This
Help us to
call is
welcome you
being
to the call this
recorded.
morning. Dr. Breakthrough, go right ahead.
Hey, Coach 100K, thank you so much. Man, I appreciate you. Again, the endeavor to empower 100 to 200,000 families to create a six-figure income, and to do that by making a difference in people's lives. Well, we've got a special guest speaker today, and you definitely are going to learn some things about health and nutrition. This lady has 37 years, listen carefully, 37 years of loving people and literally helping them to learn things about their health that enabled them to break free from bondage and to live the life that they deserve. Now, she's a powerful network marketer, home-based business, built a team of over 77,000 people. I remember years ago, she had Myron Golden on her team and Dwayne Golden. I mean, both brothers at the same time. I mean, this woman's got some power. Matter of fact, they nicknamed her recently Dr. Ignite. She took the 21-day breakthrough challenge. Her team calls her Dr. Ignite. You're going to hear why. So listen carefully. You cannot do your business properly if your health is out of sync. So she's going to teach you some things, and I promise you, you want to text somebody, get them on this line. This lady has such energy and such knowledge, and yet she takes complex things and makes it very simple. For instance, remember I said I declared war on deception, dehydration, and debt. Well, Lidy, our speaker this morning, was one of the ladies that helped me. I was deceived. See, I thought because I drank half my body weight in ounces of water every day and had the expensive machine and alkaline water, I thought that meant I was hydrated. She broke it down to a thing called intercellular hydration. And oh my goodness, I can just tell you this. The smallest little tweak I've made recently that has made the biggest difference is this one right here. It's called intercellular hydration. So, hey, Lidy, we're going to unmute the line. Come on out, bless the people, and share with them. We've got about 24 minutes. Share with them some powerful principles of how you ignite people to life. Lidy Love, as we call
her. Good morning. It is certainly a delight to be with you all this morning, and I know that when it is that we're standing in a space to empower people, to give them some new possibility, that you stand in a space of freedom. And so many people say, I can't afford it, and I have a lot of fear. And I say, you know what? There's one thing to just remember. Fear not. It's just cells we're talking about. We're not talking about any kind of a label. We're going to go down and break it down to just a simple cellular level. And once you understand that I don't care where you are, if it is like you're getting your diagnostic, you're in a hospital and you're trying to figure out how to get out from that hospital, you know that things are not looking too good, and you're looking in the mirror and thinking, you know what, I need new vitality in this body, that you can. And I've often said to people, just keep your 911 file. Keep your 911 file close, because when you have people that you need to have praying for you, and you need to have people that are going to guide you in some enlightenment, in your finances, in your health journey, that you need to have people that are powerful. They're going to help you make decisions that are going to take you from that space in the moment to looking at it. And then, Dr. Breakthrough, I know you say see through it, right? But if you're going to have a breakthrough, if you're going to have a breakdown in your life, then those are the kind of people you need to call upon, because you're not going to ask somebody as to whether or not you should or should not do something. You're going to have to look at solutions. So I'm going to say 37 years ago, I went the conventional route. I had a sick baby. We did the 3, 6, 9 month checkup with our first child. And when we got to the 9-month checkup, the doctor said, well, your baby's not doing too well. Well, at that moment, and you're having, that moment of, okay, what's wrong here? And you don't understand exactly what's going on. They tell you that the hemoglobin's too low. Then you say, well, what does that mean? And then they tell you that if they're going to crawl and walk and cut themselves, they could become a bleeder. Well, that's the moment. You just got the whole picture. Whether or not you know the name or not, And then some people are in spaces and then they hear their thing, and they have their fear. And I remember leaving there and I said, I will do exactly what the doctor said. Exactly. And I'm supposed to show up next month. And I know things will be, just all fine because of the fact that I'm going to do exactly what they say. And I got back there the next month and ran the test. And he said, well, there's been no change. He said, well, we're going to have to do something different. And I said, well, Doc, okay, what are we going to do? He said, we're going to give her twice the amount of the vitamins. And then we're going to check again next month. And I left there that day, and I'm just trying to help you just for this brief moment, understanding something, that when you do exactly what they say, and many of you might even be thinking this in this moment, what's next? Because you know what? I thought I already did what was going to give me the solution. And here's what we know. It is a practice, and you are the patient. Or you might ask yourself, what am I doing here? Because I think they're practicing on my patients, and your patients is going to be practiced on. So I had that thought come through my mind. I remember sitting at a stoplight, and at that moment, I saw that there's two roads. There's two roads. And there was a song at our graduation that said, 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and there I stood, and I took the road less traveled. I remembered that song, and I saw myself backing up on the road and then going to the other road. I went from conventional wisdom to unconventional wisdom. And I wondered why everybody wasn't on the unconventional wisdom road. And that was the moment I saw that less people travel that road, but this is where the solutions are. And that is over there going to be a cover-up. I need to wake up. And I saw all these things just starting to place before me. And so I went home, and there was a time when they had yellow pages still. I went to the yellow pages and I looked at homeopathists, naturopathologists, nutritionists, and dietitians, and I wanted to know what they knew, what they could tell me about low hemoglobin. And I was led to a woman who is from Michigan. She is the international guest speaker for the naturopathic convention that was going to be held. And she said, Lidy, I'm going to ask you one question. What are you doing? Are you nursing or bottle feeding? I said, I am nursing. She said, wonderful. Then she said, I'm going to make a statement. She said, living food produces life. Dead food produces death. I said, oh. I said, what am I doing? I think I just got a picture about something that I'm either not doing or something I better pay attention to. And she said, well, let me just ask you, what are you eating? What's your diet? And she said, okay. She said, well, I know that you came from a farm. You went from garden to table. You went from the cow to that was your milk supply and so on. And now you've been living, in a city and you don't have that same option. And I said, no. And she said, well, let me just help you understand some more things. Supplementation is not an option. It's a necessity. Now that was 37 years ago. I said, well, we did some supplementing. It was cod liver oil, and I certainly was not going to do cod liver oil ever again. And I said, so now I think you need to tell me the rest of the story. And I remember my father would read the prevention magazine at the table, and he would say, you need to eat the grape seeds because that's pycnogenol. And we were all like, are you kidding? That's bitter. And so we learned some things that were going to be probably wisdom for down the road. But I'm going to today talk about the fundamental basics. When we understand that the body is made up of cells, you're made up of 100 trillion cells. If you stack that up from the Earth to the moon, you're going to have what is called how many cells you are made up of. Just alone the cells, the single cells inside the lining of your arteries will cover a soccer field. Just the cells inside your arteries and your capillaries. So as we're starting to take a look at what's going on here, those cells have a lifespan. And the lifespan of the cells is from skin cells, very short period of time. You have some that are days long, some are weeks, months, years. And so skin cells, bone cells, blood cells, brain cells all have their own longevity. And so with skin cells, it's 21 days. You see something topically going on, you might say, well, I got some brown spots. That's really telling you something about your liver function or health of your liver. You might have some things that look like skin tags in your neck. Well, that's something that's going on with polyps in your colon. So these are direct connects. Whatever's going on the inside shows up on the outside. And that's always what you can bank on. So here we are today looking at this and saying, okay, what exactly am I doing? What are my signs? And you have to look at and do your own examination because it's telling you something. And it all starts out with 4 stages of degenerative health. And the stages are that, first of all, you are dehydrated. Now, might I tell you, just to put one more piece of this equation together, that every single minute of every day, 60 million cells die off per minute. That's a million a second. So you and I have something else going on, which is called your body is a manufacturing facility. It is manufacturing a million cells a minute, brand new cells, and they need to be resourced with nutrients. And those cells want to be strong. Your body wants to be superior, not inferior. It wants to be strong, not weak. And so here's what's happening. When we have what is called the elements in place, your body has the ability to produce these superior cells. And if the cells are not strong, you can develop from a weak cell and replace that with a stronger cell, and feed the cells, and they will go back to what's called peak optimum. Your body knows exactly what that's supposed to be. So how we begin to degenerate is that we have what's called dehydration. Now, most people, just like Dr. Stan said, well, I'm drinking a lot of water. I think I'm doing the best I can. Pat yourself on the back that you are all doing the best that you can. Until now, when you know something and you begin to have what is called a wake up and you understand that this is how it happens, that dehydration is an acid state inside the body. And acid means low pH. Low pH means potential hydrogen. And water is H2O. So we have to know something more about water and the size of the molecule. We'll do that in a second. So dehydration leads to deficiency. Since water is the carrier and it cannot deliver that into what's called the nucleus of the cell, then it sits on the exterior membrane of the cell. Think of it like a grape. It sits on the outside and it parks itself there and creates irritation, and that starts to swell. So deficiencies sitting on the outside rather than the inside is not a good place, and that leads to dysfunction. All these cells are clustered together to be operative by way of a functionality. They need to be your kidney and your liver, your spleen, all of those organs have to function. If they're not functioning, you have what's called a flaccid state. Deficiency is low energy. This is increased flaccid, state of being. And then you have dis-ease. And dis-ease leads to increased passive state. Your body becomes sedated. Your metabolism isn't working. Your heart starts to skip a beat. I mean, these are all little indicators. It's not complicated. So if you are right now saying, well, now that I have this information, how can my body regenerate? No, here's the beauty. It's not like a car. You don't regenerate parts. But in your body, we regenerate parts. We regenerate the elements that become the whole functionality of these organs and so on. So, and it can be your brain cells, bone cells. Remember, it's all these cells. It's not just some of them. We used to think, well, once your brain cells are gone, they're gone forever. I have news for everybody. It's just calcification. There's something going on in the body. So if you want ease and you want function and you want efficiency, then you've got to desire and thirst for the proper hydration. And the proper hydration is to have what is called a molecular structure and of the water molecule. It needs a bond angle that is shifted, and that will then penetrate across the cell membrane. Now, you might say, is this the first time we're hearing this? I mean, really, for the first time we're hearing this? No. I'm going to say probably knowing this because of science. Science is saying there's something more we need to know about water. It's a very simple element, but we are not. People are going to the hospitals. People are dehydrated. What is going on here? And it has to do with the fact that This whole conversation is a result of this dehydration process. So the bond angle changes when you actually there's a proprietary light technology that is used to be able to create what is called a new memory on the water molecule. And that water molecule, there's an exchange that happens then at the cellular membrane. It's called the water channel, and it will penetrate across. It's now carrying the resources. So because of the exchange of the ions, and if you put this in distilled water, you have a negative ion in the water, and then we know that toxins are inside of the cells as well. And what happens is that those toxins are going to be pulled out of the body. So here's what happens. It delivers again across the cell membrane, takes the nutrients along, unloads the goods, and then attracts the positive charge. Poison is positive charge inside of your body. It grabs onto that and escorts it out. So you have increased your assimilation, increased the elimination, which is called the cleansing, and just because of hydration. Now, people are saying, is that all I have to do? That's right. That's all we have to do, is paying attention to that one piece does all of this. Kevin Trudeau wrote in his book, Natural Cures That They Don't Want You to Know About. He says, if you're taking a look at 100 people, very sick people, all with different diseases and illnesses, you do find common denominators. Virtually every sick person is dehydrated. And then he says they need to start cleansing. Of course, this is exactly what we're talking about. It's accelerating the cleansing process from within the cells. And it's going to give these cells their life capacity, ability to function at their peak optimum until their lifespan is over. And then there's a renewing, and then of greater, healthier cells. And you can manufacture greater, healthier cells. And then he says also, virtually every sick person has a candida yeast overgrowth. I invite everybody to go to 200diseases.com, 200diseases.com, and read about just candida. And you're going to look at that and you're going to say, oh my gosh, I know a lot of people that fit into this category. If that's the focus, and you look at this whole dehydration conversation, and then you figure out how it is that we can kill this yeast beast that's within inside of our body, it is a home run. It is victory. And here we are today, knowing that you can get what is called a free referral link from the person that invited you. This is a buyer's club. I am so grateful that there's a place to be able to go online and be able to purchase what you need, and I can guide people. People don't have to store this. I have to say it's just been a blessing, because a lot of people, even to the point of practitioners, various people that are out there wanting to be campaigning on freedom, complete freedom, it means that you can have what is called total access to all freedom. You will erase the blockages in that body, and there are a couple of things maybe later we can talk about, but you're starting with the step one, and you're starting to take a look at how it is that you can assimilate and eliminate at a higher level with just hydration. And hydration drops, 6 drops in a gallon of distilled water is the clue. Back to you, Dr. Stan. I'm not sure who I'm going back to.
Wait a minute. So this whole thing, so again, go through that again, this dehydration that then leads to what?
Yep. Dehydration increases the acidic state, so acid state, which leads to deficiencies, decreases the energy state, then that leads to dysfunction, which increases the flaccid state, and then that leads to dis-ease, and you can say disease, but you're going to get a prognostic diagnostic, which equals increasing the passive state.
Now, when you say dysfunction, Lidy, give us some of the things, because I think some people think what's going on in their body is normal, and some doctors have said, "Oh, for your age, you're okay." And so, when you say dysfunction, give us a few quick things here, and then we're going to have Apostle Barry Burrell talk for a moment. But give us a couple of things, signs of the body dysfunctioning and being dehydrated.
I'm going to go down the list if I can, and just go and just say that when people answer this question, well, how are you doing today? And then say, well, I feel good. I'm doing good. Okay. They don't even know they're dehydrated. They don't even know they're dehydrated. So you can call that stage 1. Stage 2 is when you get to the point of where your diet and the food that's being delivered is not being delivered, and you still say, I'm doing good. I feel good. Okay. So stage 1, no symptoms. Stage 2, no symptoms. You are in the third stage of degeneration, and it's called microscopic change in the tissue. So microscopic change in the tissue at that third stage is when you have like things like brittle fingernails, bad breath. You have floaters in the eyes. You just think that was a fly that flew by. You have allergies. You have sinus trouble. You might have poor sleep behavior. You might have getting up in the middle of the night. I mean, these are just, after all, I'm just getting older, right? I should expect that this should happen. And when these things start to show up, receding gum lines, my heart skips a beat once in a while. You just like, okay, that was weird. Okay, that pain was odd. And you see some brown specks on the back of your hands. I'm going to tell you, I had that. And my back of my hands were full. I mean, like they were plastered with brown spots. Somebody said, well, you got a lot of little angels in your life. And I'm like, I'm not so sure. The seminars I'm going to say that there's something going on with my liver. I'm not liking that. That's got to change. They're like, they never change. I said, I'm believing. And you know what? I don't have like any brown spots. This is the kind of conversations we're having. So dysfunction is that microscopic. When you get to the fourth stage of dehydration or degeneration, it's macroscopic change in the tissue. And you know that something's wrong. The third stage is when you kind of like went to the doc and you got some, antibiotics, some antihistamines, some, let's call it aspirin. They tell you just go, put this in your system or here's the prescription, go pick this up. That's at the third stage. And the fourth stage, and you know that there's something else going on, you might have even gotten a second or third, let's call it referral. You might be seeing some specialist, and then they're going to say, oh my goodness, yes, we finally got it. And they give you your prognostic diagnostic. Most people start calling at that time. They get to the parking lot and they have completely fallen apart. Make sure they have your phone number, because you're going to tell them, fear not, it's just cells. I say that every day, since I put this whole thing together. It was one day I woke up and said, I'm going to be the one that's going to be known to say, fear not, it's just cells, because it's just cells. And here we are. So it'll go from a disease to a disease with a label. So now you have what is called a category that you fit into, and it's got all the symptoms that are going to be like, I constantly have pain moving all over my body. I don't know what's going on, but I can't handle this anymore. My joints are so sore, and my, I've got pain from all the way up my spine. I've got this, I got that, and they're going to say, well, you have, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, Parkinson's, MS, Epstein-Barr, you've got cancer, you've got something, okay? And then you're going to have to figure out, well, how progressive is it? When they tell you that it's in a very aggressive state, it means that you are manufacturing weaker cells faster than stronger cells. So this is the moment that you have to have the wake up. And when they call, and I say, just remember, your body's just manufacturing cells. What we're going to do is that think of it like I have an equation. I have an equation and I have liabilities. And if I'm going to pour in some liabilities just periodically, I'm going to add some assets to my body. Otherwise, I'm not going to change my program, and I have a liability, and they only told me I'm going to live so long, and so I'm going to keep doing what I've always done. So I got liabilities on top of liabilities equals a bigger liability, right? So if you say, well, if I have a liabilities and I can put some assets in, I'm going to change my diet a little bit, okay, you are adding some assets. The likelihood that you can, change things at the rate in which it is you need to change things, I'm going to say you might feel a little bit better, but it's going to take some time. Here's how I like to operate. Here's how I'm going to help you understand something. If you get the delivery system working and you have that penetration across that cell membrane, and that's at the pace in which it needs to be, you have a liability, and you're going to multiply your health by pouring in some assets, and the body starts to sort and abort. It knows exactly what's going to go, what's going to stay. You activate your stem cells. You're going to build your immune system, and we pick it up a little bit. If that's you, then this is not a difficult conversation. And what you get is, canceling out liability, and you get some assets. And then your equation, because you're still manufacturing cells, remember, you have assets and you're pouring assets, and then oh my gosh, and all I did, and then they say, well, all I did is I did this, and that was magic. Now your body's the miraculous. Your body's the miraculous. And when you understand the miracle that's happening within you, and you align your body with everything that it can receive, that means conceive first this concept, and then believe in this concept, you will achieve this full process. And when people say, well, Lidy, how can you get up every morning and do this for 37 years? I'm going to tell you, I tried to run away from it. I was so burnt out in 16 years. I did not want to do this ever again. And guess what? That was in January that I made that decision. And in June, our son came back from scout camp, and he had not feeling well conversation coming home. I said, if you eat well, sleep well, you're going to be fine, son. I said, but tell me what you did during the day. He told me all the patterns, what he ate, everything. He said before they went to bed, they had to go to a nurse's station. I said, a nurse's station at Scout Leadership Camp? What is this about? He said, yeah, we had to do deer tick checks. I said, did you have any deer ticks? He said, well, just 5. I said, 5 deer ticks in 10 days? Oh, my gosh. So he went to bed, got up the next morning, and he vomited for an entire month. He lost 30 pounds at age 15. He could not move his eyes in his head anymore. He could not turn his head. And I'm going to tell you something. That was a wake up. That was a wake up call. And I promised I would never walk away from this journey ever again, because I don't want anybody sick at my doorstep ever again. That was challenging.
So Lidy, you're saying all this intercellular hydration is so. We're at the end of our time, so can we do this? Can you come back tomorrow? And matter of fact, while you were talking, we got twice as many people on the call now than we had when we started. So people have been jumping on. So folks, again, you can go to 200diseases.com. 200diseases.com. It's a free ebook. You'll get a doctor with 50 years experience, and you scroll down the left-hand side, and any problem you have, he gives you powerful information that you can take responsibility for your health. And one of the main things he's going to tell you is about intercellular hydration. And so, of course, we have partnered here. I'm the International Training Director for Uplift, as well as the company we've partnered with. And we just want to educate the world. So, Lidy, tomorrow, folks, get everybody on this call tomorrow. So real quick, again, thank you so much, Lidy. Incredible, very passionate. Apostle Barry Burrell, can you come? I know you just got started helping to hydrate people because, I declared war. So I'm looking for winners and warriors, not wimps and whiners. And we're going to train some, get this now, some wellness warriors, some wealth warriors, and some wisdom warriors. And Apostle Burrell said, I'm in. And, of course, Pastor Kenny's in and many of you. But Apostle Burrell, you also getting compensated now. Like me, I used to pay money to drink water. Now I'm getting paid. I've made thousands excuse me, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just in my first month, just being hydrated and sharing it with my friends. Apostle Barry Burrell, you made ambassador. Come tell us. And then April 1st, I'll be in Houston. Apostle Barry Burrell. Oh, I think I got to unmute your line, huh? Let's see here. Apostle, did you drop off? Oh,
okay, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, Champ. Congratulations, Ambassador.
Wonderful, Dr. Stan. So excited about this wonderful, as Apostle, as Dr. Stan says, this, if it's a win-win, he and Miss A, B, C, D are in, and this is a win-win. I want to thank you, Sister Lidy, awesome presentation. We learned so much about hydration and the importance of it. I just want to take a couple of minutes. I probably could take all morning, but about 2.5 years ago, my son Joshua, I have a son named Joshua. Dr. Stan has a son named Joshua, and I just thank God he blessed them with the Handle Sons of Thunder, my two sons, Joshua and Jeremy. But my son Joshua was sick with Crohn's disease right before Christmas 2.5 years ago. And my wife and I, we are apostles and prayer warriors, and we've seen miracles after miracles through the word of God. The Bible says we shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. We prayed for our son, and we stayed up all night praying, laying hands. And I mean, this thing was fighting him, and he was not getting any better. And that's the first time I can truly say that I have prayed and prayed with such intensity and did not receive the supernatural miracle of healing. Well, he got so sick, his ribs began to show through his body. He lost so much weight. He was skin and bones. We made the decision, you know what? We need to take him to the emergency room, which we did. Well, found out because of the Crohn's disease, he was afraid to eat because it would come right out. He was afraid to drink because it would come out. And what we found out, he was critically dehydrated. And immediately they began to give him liters and liters and liters of fluids, water, and whatever they gave him. But liter after liter after liter after liter. And we talked to him and said, son, don't you ever put yourself in a position where you don't drink at least water to hydrate yourself. So we were definitely learned about the importance of hydration. So I thank God for Dr. Stan, Pastor Kenny, Sister Lidy sharing us with the importance of hydration. All we've got to do, amen, is purchase these little hydration drops and literally change our lives. So I made ambassador last night. Didn't take me long to do it. Why? Because the program and the company is, amen, praise God, by far perhaps the best I've ever seen. Free to join, no auto-ship. It's a win-win situation. And in the compensation plan, 7.6 times better than the best. Dr. Stan came to our convocation, which is a conference last year, and he talked about 10 times better than the rest. That's a message he's got. Well, look, that's exactly what Shop Free Mart is. 7.6 times better than the best and 572 times better than the least. So listen, we're going to have training and presentation. Dr. Stan is going to be with us right here in Houston, Texas next Monday. That's next Monday night, 7:30 p.m. at our church, Living Water Christian Cathedral. The address is 12525 Fondren Road, Suite B, Houston, Texas, 77035. Dr. Stan is going to be there alive, praise God, present and in the flesh, Dr. Breakthrough. And this man of God has set the record of the company at the top in less than 30 days. So if you want to be the best, you got to learn from the best. Dr. Stan is going to be there. Listen, you're all invited. Everybody's invited. That's next Monday night, 7:30 p.m. You're going to be getting the details more. We're also going to be putting out a flyer this week that you can invite, share, and listen. This is your opportunity. Don't miss it. Remember, Shop Free Mart, 7.6 times better than the best. It's your season, and you can win. God bless you. Thank you.
Wow. Well, hey, powerful. By the way, tonight at 9 o'clock Central, 10 Eastern, we'll have a special webinar. And Coach will send out that information. And I see so many great friends that have jumped on. Again, Brother Larry and some others, and he'll be. We're going to just Listen, folks, we're going to educate people, love on them, and then we get compensated in return. So, Coach, I know we're way over time, man, but this is so good. Now, by the way, get back tomorrow. Lidy's going to finish up. And Wednesday, I'm going to have Dr. Wheaton. Now, this guy, 86 years wise, he's going to break down some things. This is a medical doctor, 50 years experience, who wrote the free ebook. Go to 200diseases.com. Wrote that. He's going to be here Wednesday and empower you as well. So, folks, I'm telling you, you're at the right place at the right time. Just take the right action by being in the right frame of mind. Thank you, Apostle. Looking forward to everything. And God bless you. Pastor Coach Kenny, we got to close it out. We're over time.
Let's close out real quick, guys. Listen, tonight, we're going to go over products. We'll have Lydia on going over products. We're going to have Dr. Breakthrough on going over promotions and things like that. I want to kind of tap into the comp plan and let you understand the deepness of this comp plan. You might think because it's free, comp plan is not good. My goodness, comp plan is incredible. Wish I had it created myself. But anyway, we're going to go ahead on and let you go tonight. And we'll see you tonight on time, 9 o'clock p.m. Central, 10 Eastern. Get ready to explode and get your breakthrough. And we'll see you at the top. Till then, Dr. Breakthrough and I, we love you. Stay uplifted. It's uplift time. It's breakthrough time. Shark.
Shark.